Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about something in Lightroom in post-processing. On my last video I talked about how I lost my gear on a recent trip. Now this video is more about photos taken on vacations and trips. When you go on a holiday, a lot of the times, you know, as photographers we want to go out and take photos before the sun rises or at sunrise or at sunset. But depending on where you are in your life, as a single person, not attached, very little commitments, you can do a lot more of that. You have a lot more freedom. But as a family person, you may not have those kind of flexibilities. So with a young family, you know, you've got to look after the little ones, you've got to get the breakfast ready, you've got to get them up and ready and so forth. So, you know, this is something I find that will be common to a lot of my audience. So what is that? Essentially arriving at destinations and arriving when the sun has basically come up high. It is noon, you know. You get up, you make breakfast, you get ready, you leave, you drive a couple of hours, you get to your destination, and by the time you get there, it's actually afternoon. The sun is sky high, which means you're gonna get dark shadows under your eye sockets, you're gonna get shadows under your nose, under your chin. And there's numerous ways of fixing those, obviously using gear. So one of the biggest ones is obviously using a flash as a fill light, so lighting and filling in that darker areas, the shadow areas in your photos. The other would be using something like this, which is a reflector. But you'll be needing to carry these around with you, and honestly, who has the time? And you need an assistant as well to actually hold the reflector so you can fill in the light. So that's something that I come across, but I find that it's very easy to fix that in Lightroom. So today I'm going to show you how you fix that in Lightroom without having done it on the spot using fill light or reflectors, right? So we're talking about after the fact. Once you got your photos imported in Lightroom, how do you fix that? Here's one photo of me and my lovely wife. We're just gonna crop this first because it's a little bit crooked. Fix that image up. We're gonna increase the exposure a bit because it looks underexposed. Already starts to look better. Open up some of the shadows. And when you open up the shadows, what you see is the image starts to get better. The facial areas where the lighting was too dark, the shadows, they open up, you know. So it already looks much better. But what that does is also the shadow, when you open that with the shadow slider, it opens it up for the entire image, which again may or may not work depending on the type of image. So I don't want to open the shadows too much here. I'm going to add a bit more contrast to this photo, pull down the blacks, add some more clarity, and add some more vibrance. So if we look at before and now, the image already looks much better. Now here's what you can do in addition to what I just did to make that photo really pop. You go up here and you use one of these things called adjustment brush in Lightroom. You take that adjustment brush and let's reset that. So by default it should all be zeros. If it's not zeros, then you can just double click the effects button here and it will reset everything. So I'm going to crank up the exposure, maybe about 0.6. I'm going to open up the shadows to about 20. And I'm going to drop a pin here. Actually, I will add some contrast as well. That's something I do as well. So add a little bit more contrast. So I'm just going to drop a pin here on myself. And now I'm just going to paint into my face, on my neck, on the shirt, and I'm gonna go across the entire shirt. Yes, it's increasing the overall exposure, but I want it to look consistent. It looks normal, as if I have used flash, right? If the photo was taken with a fill flash of some kind. So if that was the case, then it would fill in all of this area, right? Here as well, I'm gonna open that up, and the top here of my wife, I'm gonna lighten that up as well. And you can go back down here, show selected mask overlay, and that will show you the mask where you have colored and that can help color it in. Now, when you do that, one of the things to make sure is this auto mask thing is not turned on. So it should be disabled. I don't want auto mask. I want it to paint where I have told and run a brush stroke. I want it to paint that exposure there, right? So here we go. That looks about right. I'm gonna paint some of the hand there and there. Reduce the size, paint there, and that's about it. So now you can see it looks a lot better. It's much more well lit. It's a lot better looking now. The lighting is improved. The shadows aren't as harsh. And the exposure looks like as if, you know, a flash was fired. So, you know, this is how I fill in that extra bit of flashlight after the fact. And applying this then allows me to correct that image and make it better. Now, generally I'll go over the edges as well, just to see if maybe that starts to give away. Some touch-ups have been done. In that case, we'll go back, hold the Alt key, and just remove that extra bit of overflow if it has gone over and is kind of looks like a halo, and it's starting to look like there's been some touch-ups, you know. So I'd rather have that cleaned up here and here as well. I think there's a little bit of, it might be hard to see in the video, but when you do that in practice, you will see what I mean. So here is the final result. If I hit done, that's the photo now. This is what it looked like before, right? So a huge difference, a lot more fill light. The faces are well lit now, and the photo looks much nicer than what it did before. So again, here is another shot that we've applied the same technique. You know, you look at the photo, it looks nice, right? And the exposure looks good. There's been a lot of fill light put in, and I've done that in Lightroom. So if I go to my adjustment brush, and I should see the pin there we go, on top of my knife's head, and you see the mask now. So I've gone here all the way down. Try it. Various different situations, you want to either fill it or not, the entire body. In this case, I wanted to make sure that the legs were also exposed similar to the torso and above. So in this case, I wanted to do that. Here's another picture where again I have gone in and added some fill light here. And now if I turn the fill light off, you'll see the difference. So I can do that just by hitting that button down here. Turn that fill light off, and you can see that's what it would look like out of the camera, with some adjustments to the overall exposure of the photo. But just by adding a little bit more extra fill light, that photo looks a lot better than what it did originally out of the camera. Here's another example. We are in direct sunlight. You can see the shadows. They're pretty much, you know, the sun is up high and all the light's falling down directly on you. So again, here I use the same method. So let's go back here, and you can see that I have filled in all of that area. If you look on the right here, I've added increased half the exposure, added some shadows, and I have added some contrast as well. You always want to add a little bit more contrast, because otherwise the photo will look very flat, because you've increased the exposure and you open up the shadows. So you might even add some blacks here to keep the contrast consistent with the rest of the image. So that's pretty much it. That's how you further enhance photos taken in the afternoon when the sun is directly above you in harsh lighting. You can add a little bit of fill light to improve that photo that you've taken. I've got a few other examples which I'll add towards the end of the clip. You can check them out. But yeah, give it a try. It's just using the adjustment brush, adding a little bit more exposure, opening up the shadows, and adding a little bit more contrast as well at the same time to keep the overall look and feel of the image consistent. So again, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Hit that little notification bell on the left hand side, on the right hand side, and yeah, so that YouTube will let you know when I upload my next video. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you found this tip useful, and I hope that will help you improve your photos when you go on travel and come back, and while you look at the computer, and well, yeah, some of the afternoon shots can be a little bit annoying. So I hope you found these tips useful. Once again, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you soon back here on this channel very soon. That's too many soons. Take care guys, bye bye.